Hey, it's Tom
And Tim.
from the Plain White Tees.
Hey, what's up? I'm Jordan from the Ready Set.
Hello, my name is Andrew WK, and you're partying with me here on Ribbit.TV.
You've been watching Ribbit TV.
You're watching Ribbit TV.
What's up, guys? It's Jack Mudd here with Ribbit TV. We're hanging out with the drummer since his fail. How you doing today, Dan?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Really good, dude. Really stoked you're in St. Louis. Hopefully you're enjoying this weather.
Yeah, it's been good. It's nice. We've been lucky with weather so far. We got some friends here and stuff. And got to see our really good friend for a little bit earlier today. So far it's a good day.
Rad, man. Good, good. Well, we're happy to have you. First question, I'm sure you do get this a lot, but I'm just curious personally as a drummer myself. How old were you when you started banging on drums?
Yeah, like third grade or so. So like second or third grade, like 7, 8, 8-ish.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Very cool. Did the mom or pop buy you a drum set or?
Yeah, well, kind of through happenstance. My parents used to like play music. Family is musical.
Very cool.
And so like a family friend had like a drum kit laying around, and my mom bought it for my dad for like a gift or something, and it was there, so I started playing it.
Right.
Much.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Good decision. This guy's killer. What kind of sticks do you use?
Vic Firth.
Vic
Always.
Firth.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
So
using the X55B right now.
X55B. You heard it here, kids. Another question I wanted to ask you as a drummer. I mean, so you started at a young age, you know, playing with these guys, and I guess, like, what was the moment that told you that, like, wow, I can actually do this for a living? Like, what was that like? And, like, I'm sure you're still, you know, aspiring to be better every day. Like, you know, you always have to be. And but, I mean, once you got to the point where you were making money, you know, and doing this and doing what you love, I mean, what was that moment like?
I don't know. It's cool. I mean, it all just, like, being in the band and then getting signed and then, like, recording and going on tour and stuff all kind of happened. I mean, we were, you know, trying to do that, but you know, you can't ever expect anything. Always try as hard as you can, but don't necessarily, you know, it sounds pessimistic, but just, you know, we just started playing and did an EP and then started playing shows and got signed and everything. And it was really, I don't know when it really was that it was like, oh, wow, this is really, like, what I do.
Right. There wasn't, like, one moment or one day that stood out where you were like, holy cow.
Like, when we got signed and then, like, started going on tour, and then was, like, once I, like, started to be able to get, like, drum endorsements and stuff like that was pretty cool. You know, that was a cool sign of, like, wow, people, you know, have my back and faith in me as a drummer, and then in the band itself enough to want to help me out with stuff like that, which has, you know, been a huge help, having people help out with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely. And we're going to take it back here a little bit. Steve Hodes.
Yeah.
So that was your drum teacher. I read online, too, that I guess his drum teacher worked with, like, Buddy Rich and a lot of the legends. I mean, so I'm sure he had an incredible upbringing through him and everything. And what was it like working with him?
It was cool. I didn't take too many lessons from him. It was like my mom and his wife worked together.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like, oh, you know, my son's a drummer. Oh, my husband's a drummer as well. He teaches, and then kind of just got hooked up through that channel of communication, and you know, took a handful of lessons. It was just one of those things, like, he's a great drummer and a great teacher, and it was just like, you know, when you're young, I think you don't, or at least for me, and I'm sure a lot of kids probably feel the same way, is like, you don't know enough to want to learn from music books. You know what I mean? All I was concerned with was, like, playing drum set and playing along to music and stuff like that. So much to my chagrin now, didn't take that kind of stuff as seriously. So I would say anybody, like, learn to read music and do that kind of study if you're serious. I mean, I'm just, you know, getting back into, like, the learning side of things now, you know, like 20 years later. So
no, it's definitely hard to, like, push yourself and have that drive to, you know, sit down and read a drum book and try to teach yourself.
Yeah, I mean, for some people it's super easy, and it's just like, you know, but for me, at least at that age, I was more concerned with like just playing as opposed to learning, which is, you know, but you learn through playing and learn through playing with people and stuff like that. But yeah, so it was cool. I mean, I definitely did learn a lot of stuff from him.
Right.
And it was cool to get to work with him.
No, definitely. Was the training like pretty intense? I read that you like study with him a lot. And
No, I mean it's just like you know, basic
regular drum lessons.
technique, rudiments, fundamentals,
paradiddles
stuff
and
like that, and learning the, you know, proper way to hold a stick and everything, which is a more important thing than I think people realize.
No, absolutely. Definitely.
You know, and yeah, so lessons are good. Lessons are good. I've gotten to work with this guy named Dave Elich. He's an awesome drummer. And the same thing, like I said, you know, coming back years later and deciding, oh, it's time to start learning again. I got to work with him. He's a super cool dude. And same kind of thing, just reinforcing your technique and your grip and just being able to sight read and chart out music and stuff for kind of on the fly playing and stuff.
Definitely.
It's very important.
No, that's crazy to hear. Like even you at the experience and the level you're at now, like you're still taking drum lessons and you're still.
Yeah, I mean, you're never done learning. I mean, even dudes like, you know, him or whatever, people all over the place, it's still like, I think if you ever feel like you've learned everything that there is to learn, then you're kidding yourself and you're foolish. So
no,
I
absolutely.
think it's always good to keep learning.
No, absolutely. And would you say, like, were you self-taught, or did he, like, before, I guess Steve came into the picture?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like, you know, like
do you read music and you can write music?
I can, not great, but
Right,
I mean,
I'm
I
the
can,
same way.
I can get by. It's one of those things that I think I would love to get better at.
Right. Like on the record, this last record you guys did, I mean, do you have like written drum parts out, or is it just more like this sounds cool?
Yeah, it's kind of just like, you know, going for it and figuring things out on the fly, and just like, you know, you just remember things and change things as you go. But you know, at least for this style of music, I mean, for other styles of music and other circumstances and situations, I think being able to write things out and do it is good. But
yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah.
Definitely. And what would you say like the worst case scenario for a drummer would be, in your opinion?
Losing all your limbs. I don't know.
For getting your drum stool at a show or something.
Yeah, I have gear nightmares all the time where I go to sit down, like the intro's running and I've got, you know, 20 seconds to get behind, you know, get on the throne and start playing, and I go and sit down and my throne's like way too low, my snare drum's up here and I can't reach it and stuff. Like, just I had one the other day. It's really weird that I have those. I don't know if that's like some weird psychological thing that means something.
You might need to get that checked out.
It means something deeper than what it really is, but stuff like that. I think having gear break is like a scary thing. I dropped a stick last night and went to go grab another stick out of my bag, but it still had like the cardboard sleeve around it, you know?
Right.
And so I grabbed it and just had 2 sticks and just was like, well, I'm just going to keep doing this until one of them flies off, and eventually it did, and then I just had 2. So
that's good. That's super funny. So is there any song you've been like a part of making, like the whole process, and you recorded it and now looking back on it you regret it in any way? Like, wow, like even listening to it now, like I should have done that drum part differently.
Yeah, sure, totally. There's totally stuff like that. I mean, we're playing a couple songs on this tour from like older records that we haven't played in a while, and so kind of like, you know, brushing the dust off of those and playing those for the first time in a while, I'm like, the hell was I thinking writing some of these drum parts? But you know, it's a you know, recording music like that, and you know, it's a timestamp, you know, of that particular moment and where you were as a musician, as a writer, as a whatever in time, and so it's like, you know, it's like there's things that I would always do differently, but it is what it is,
right?
You know, so I always try to like put a little bit of a different spin on things,
Right. And do you, as far as the album goes, do you like really switch it up from being in the studio recording? Do you really switch it up when you get on the kit live on tour and stuff? Like, do you change songs a lot of the times? Or?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, well, what do you mean, like in terms of
like, I don't know, like speeding up parts or slowing down or like different fills, like, or do you strictly play? Well, I mean, yeah, tempos are going
to keep
right,
as much
are going to be the
because,
same.
Yeah, because I think certain stuff, it's weird. Like if a song's, I think it's better to have a song be a little fast and a little slow. But I try to keep it the same. But yeah, I mean, there's different fills and, you know, stuff like I was just saying, like those little things that I can kind of correct.
Right. You don't strictly like stick with what's on the album and play that every show.
Right. For a lot of stuff, but not everything. But I mean, there's just, you know, it's technique stuff too. I think, like, you know, I know in the studio, you don't want to totally cream the drums as much because you could choke them out, or, you know, cymbal bleed and things like that.
It
So
might not sound as good.
yeah,
in recording.
exactly. Yeah, so I feel like sometimes it's better to hold back a little bit more on recording, but live kind of go for it. But the same thing. I mean, it's find the balance of got to make them sound good. It's not awesome to just beat the crap out of the drums.
No,
You know?
I agree. I agree.
It's got to be musical, or dynamic.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess if you were back home right now, what would you be doing? Or let me rephrase this. If you never even, you know, found the drum set through your parents' friends or whatever, like music was not even in your life, what would you be doing? What's your plan B?
Almost an impossible question to answer. I don't know, because I know all I ever want to do is play. So I could not imagine not ever playing in the first place. I mean, I started playing so early and so young that it's just like all that I know, really, you know. So I don't know what the hell I'd do otherwise. If you know, I couldn't play music or didn't play music. Man, you stumped me.
Wow.
I don't know. Let's just hope I never have to worry about that.
Right. No, definitely. No, I agree. And the last question I have for you real quick. Any top 40 artists right now, just pick one. Who would you want to drum for and why?
Oh, wow. Also a stumper. There's a lot of cool music out there.
Just don't say Miley Cyrus, please. I mean, you can if you want, but
hey, man, my buddy Dave has been playing with her the last couple weeks. Or the last
there you go.
week or so. Yeah, he's been filling in, doing all the TV shows with her and stuff. So I'm sure it wouldn't be a bad gig.
No.
I don't know, man. I mean, something like that would be cool. I don't know. I feel like I could totally get down with playing with somebody like that. You know, it's just different. It's a different thing, and you know, it would be a fun thing to do. I think for sure.
Right.
But who in particular? I don't know. Who's got some cool stuff out there right now? Oh, Usher. Yeah.
Usher
man,
would be
that'd be cool.
sweet.
But
just take what's his name? Aaron Spears.
No, leave him. He's also cool dude, good drummer.
Yeah,
he's
incredible.
that's his gig. I don't know, but something along those lines would be really cool.
So
I don't know.
it'd be poppier for you.
I mean, I do whatever.
Yeah.
I do whatever. I just like music. Anything that's cool and would be a fun environment to play in, I think would be fun.
All right. Well, this has been Jack with Ribbit TV, hanging out with Dan Trapp. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.
This is the only thing that I really got right here. This little wound. It was pretty interesting. Probably the highlight of the entire tour for me.
And then Jonathan was riding the bike. He was chasing this girl named Beth, and she was like, "Don't chase me!" And he was like, "I'll get you." And so he had his gloves on. These are the same gloves he was wearing during the accident.
That's blood.
That's the black blood. And but as you can see on his, can I demonstrate?